Hi, everybody. How are you doing on this Sunday? Today, I just want to focus on all that we already have in our lives. Sometimes we get blindsided by the desire, the constant search, the constant seeking for something outside of ourselves to give us joy and happiness. And we lose sight of the things that are already very much in our lives. So today, I want to focus, I want you to think of all the things that if one of those things weren't in your life today, how would it change your life? And I want you to give immense gratitude for those things, and I want us to start listing and thinking about those things. I say it from my own experience because sometimes, we can get caught up just focusing on what isn't, what we haven't got, or we start stressing about a lot of unnecessary things, in our lives. And it's important to recenter and say to yourself, thank you. Say to the universe, thank you. Thank you for the gifts that exist already, that are right here in my life. Thank you for all the blessings. And let's get them out of you may have just pushed it aside in a corner of your mind because you're now on to the next thing, or on to feeling like, no, I need this, I need that, I need something else. Just let's go shopping in our own closet. Let's go shopping in our own home. Let's go shopping in our own lives. We there's so much treasure to be found in your life right now. It can be things, it can be people, it can be qualities that you have acquired. It's important to take stock and ask yourself how far I have come. What have I gained? What have I learned? And focus on those areas of growth that you have made. Focus on the things that you never had before and now they're there. Focus on the people that maybe you take for granted in your life, just because they are available to you, just because they are so unconditionally giving. And sometimes we take those people for granted, and we're just like, okay, you're there, you'll be there. And but imagine if they weren't there, you know you would look back and wish that you had given your time. You'll wish that you had been there in that moment with the preciousness, of their presence. So just because somebody is giving and there no matter what, that doesn't mean their value is any less. And we are chasing after people and things who make us run after them. We're chasing after people and things that don't give us the time of day. And instead of appreciating the people who are there, you know, we're always looking for something that is not giving us, what we want. And we want to chase, we want approval from those places and things. And that is just, the game of your ego. Your ego always wants you to be outside of your presence, outside of just feeling content and satisfied within your being. And so just take a moment and let us just sit here and just appreciate and admire all that we are, how far we've come as a human being, how resilient we are, okay? And all the things that exist in our life right this moment. I'll give you an example. So I have to travel, okay? And I have to travel for reasons, technical reasons. But when I was younger, the same opportunity would have been so exciting to me. I would have been planning it and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going, I'm traveling, I'm getting on a plane, I'm going to another country, how exciting, I'm going to explore it. And instead, all I was focusing on is I have to get my COVID test, I have to get my all my documents in order. I have to do, yes, it's challenging during COVID, but ask yourself, whatever it is, like for example, this is it for me. I said to myself, how many people would give anything to be in your place? Would give anything to be on that plane, to go to another country, to be able to afford that flight, afford to stay somewhere. And when you put things in perspective, your perspective shifts from the mentality of, just being an ingrate, and complaining and moaning about things that somebody else would just die for. Okay, so you can change the way you look at whatever you have to do and wherever you are, and just being grateful for your health if you're healthy, or whatever progress you have made in your life. And it's up to us to bring ourselves out of the doldrums. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed, no matter whether you have everything or you don't, we can change our state, we can change our consciousness by focusing on the things that are going well, that are beautiful in our lives. And I'm sure no matter what is happening, you can find at least one thing to be grateful for. And that seed of gratitude, the one that you focus on, and you keep planting it in the consciousness of your mind, in that fertile soil of your mind, then that is what is going to grow. And so let those seeds of gratitude, let those seeds of love, let those seeds of compassion, let those seeds of controlling your ego, your arrogance, your need to be right, let those grow instead, because your ego will constantly put you on the wrong path. It always wants to be right, it always wants to fight, it always wants to assert itself. And I speak from experience, because I find myself more and more these days asking myself, if somebody is incompetent, or somebody is not doing a good job, or they are supposed to, do I need to break their spirit? Do I need to shout or put them down? Because even if they're not doing a good job, they're still a human being, and that human being is going through a lot, just as you are. And I am exercising this myself, because I have to say that I can be quite impatient when people don't do their jobs right, or they're lazy, or all those things. But it's just your ego's entitlement. Just because you're paying somebody for something, you don't own them, and you don't have the right to be cruel to them if they're not doing a good job. Okay, and I'm speaking to myself, I'm speaking to my own that part of myself that isn't so kind, isn't so patient, and I'm learning, and I'm teaching myself to be better in those circumstances. So it's important for us, like I said, to check ourselves. And at the end of the day, it's not about being right. It's not about being, like, oh, I got them. I won that fight. Because that is just going to destroy everybody around you and you. So choose a different path, even though it's difficult. Choose something kinder, be kind. And if consistently you find somebody doesn't do the right thing, or isn't quite changing or helping you in the way they should, you can do it with grace. You can move forward with grace and dignity, and allow that person to have some dignity as well. It isn't about what they're doing, it is about how you choose to respond. So every person that comes into our lives is just there to inform us as to how far we have progressed in our own beings. How much better are we? How are we responding rather than reacting? Okay, so I don't know, these are just things that I deal with and that are coming to me, and I want to share them with you. And, hopefully you can relate. And I feel every human being can relate to something like that, because we all have challenges. There's always some person there to give us a hard time. There's always someone there not doing it right. There's always your own being that is impatient in certain aspects, and so work on those things and be kind and gentle with yourself as well. Don't be harsh towards yourself while you're working on those things. You don't have to be like, oh God, there you go again. You could say, it's okay. We'll do better next time, and the next time, and the next time. And every time you consciously decide to change your path and choose a path of peace, choose a path of compassion, choose a path of love, you will change. You will change, and I've seen it in my own self, and I constantly work on it. When I was, well, I don't want to say when I was younger, I want to say I still work on it. I can be quite fiery at times. I can lose my temper. I can, yeah, yeah. So for me, it's sometimes because of my childhood and the way I grew up. I can go into defensive mode because I've had to defend myself since I was a child. I've had to fight for myself. I've had to grow up very quickly. And these are not excuses for my behavior. Absolutely not. At some point in your life, no matter what you've been through, you have to take responsibility for your actions. And you can't just keep going on like a rabid dog and not treat yourself. You have to watch and see your weaknesses and work on them. So I see those are my weaknesses, and so I constantly speak to myself, remind myself it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But if we choose a different path, we also create different pathways in our neurology. We also condition ourselves differently because we're choosing it rather than just being at the mercy of whatever comes up for us. Okay, there are so many techniques and so many ways for us to change our lives, for us to be better human beings, for us to be kinder. I feel like the world needs kindness, and if we can be a catalyst for kindness, not when it's easy, right? I mean, I know I am a very compassionate and loving and kind person, but when I'm triggered, right? When there are certain things that remind me of a past situation or have hurt me in the past, then my defenses come up. And I'm not so kind in that moment, and I'm not so loving, and I'm not so compassionate. And so I'm watching myself and saying, because ultimately I want to be that person who is kind, who is loving, who is peaceful, regardless of who is in front of me, regardless of their actions, regardless of the situation. What I want from my life is peace. And what I want for everyone who enters my life is peace. And I want everyone to feel touched with love and healing. And if that is my true intention, then, like I said, all the things I mentioned to you, I will keep working on those things. So, this is what came out of my heart today for all of you. And I hope you got something from it. I hope it helped you in some way. And, in any situation of your life, whatever you're going through, just try and choose the kind path. I don't mean be a doormat, absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying just, allow people to walk all over you. Absolutely not. You can be lovingly firm, you can be gently, what's the word? Gentle and uh, put your point across. And if somebody just doesn't get it and continues to behave in a way that is inappropriate, you can just distance yourself, because sometimes we can't, it doesn't change, so you can just distance yourself and bring your presence back into your body. Don't allow it to be pulled into other people's mental troubles, into other people's bad behavior, because that is their own pain body that is coming up for themselves. That challenge is their challenge, and instead of adding fuel to their fire, which is already a condition within them, you can help to simmer it down, you can help to water it, and with your presence you can change the energy of other people. All right, so yeah, I love to hear from you, your comments, what you thought, what you think. And yeah, I'm here to help, I'm here to support you, and I'm here to learn from you as well. So take care, everybody. Leave your comments, your thoughts, any questions. What would you like to hear? What would you like me to speak about? What would you like to learn about? I would love to know. Okay? Lots of love, and have a beautiful Sunday.